Welcome. Myself, Mr. Santosh Lukare from Department of Instrumentation and Control Engineering of MEP's KBTCO in Nasik 13. Today we discuss about dual signal processing, and in that we are interested in FIR filter design. So there are different methods of designing the FIR filters that we have already gone through. Today we will discuss about the window method and its different types and the comparison between FIR and IR filters. The objective of this session is to understand the Gibbs phenomena and to design the FIR filter by using window method. The content of this session are Gibbs phenomena, desired frequency response of various types of filters, windowing method, and the examples Gibbs phenomenon. So in Fourier series method we truncate the Fourier series abruptly, and which results in oscillations in passband and stopband of the given filter. So these oscillations are due to the slow convergence of Fourier series near the points of discontinuity. Means if we consider the ideal response of low pass filter, it is just a pulse, or it has a appearance like a square waveform. So if you consider the one cycle of square waveform, the point of discontinuity is that where the amplitude changes. So this effect is known as Gibbs phenomenon, and these are the undesirable oscillations which can be minimized by multiplying the desired impulse response with some appropriate shaping function, and that is called as a window function. So the method of designing a FIR filter on the basis of multiplying the desired impulse response with some appropriate shaping function is called as a window method. Now let us discuss about the desired frequency responses. So if you consider the ideal low pass filter, its frequency response can be expressed in terms of a magnitude function, and figure 1 and figure 2 it indicates the ideal filters magnitude response as well as its corresponding, you may say, the practical equivalence, or you may say the approximate response. So in figure 1 and figure 2 the filter responses are shown. So in passband and stopband there are some fluctuations. So if you truncate the Fourier series abruptly, then at the point of discontinuity, as said in the previous slide, it is nothing but when the amplitude changes from in case of, you may say, in terms of magnitude from 0 dB, or you may say from 1 to 0. So 1 is the magnitude in passband and 0 is the magnitude in stopband. So and if we truncate the magnitude response at cutoff frequency or near the cutoff frequency, the oscillations occurs. So we know that the ideal response of the filter is just an approximation of the ideal response with the help of you may say the in terms of frequency sinusoids. So these oscillations are there in passband and stopband near the point of discontinuity. So these oscillations are called as a Gibbs phenomenon, and the oscillations are called as Gibbs oscillations. So the desired so if you consider the desired impulse response, it can be approximated as e raised to minus j alpha omega, where omega is the frequency. So this desired impulse response in terms of frequency domain is approximated as e raised to minus j theta terms, and that is nothing but you may say the frequency or the sinusoids. So hd of omega e raised to minus j alpha omega will range from minus cutoff frequency to plus cutoff frequency, and it is 0 from cutoff frequency to pi. So as shown in figure, from cutoff frequency onwards to the higher frequency, that is from omega c to pi, there is a stop band, and from 0 to omega c there is a pass band, and it is just from 0 to plus pi. So it is just a you may say on the right hand side, that is from 0 to plus pi only. The same nature is available from 0 to minus pi also. So by taking the inverse Fourier transform of equation 1, we can find out the desired impulse response in time domain. So this hd of n is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integral over minus pi to plus pi hd of e raised to j omega n into d omega. So this hd of omega is nothing but the desired frequency response, which is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integral from minus cutoff frequency to plus cutoff frequency e raised to minus j alpha omega into e raised to j omega and d omega. This e raised to minus j alpha omega is nothing but the desired impulse response in the pass band. So by integrating over the range, that is from minus cutoff frequency to plus cutoff frequency, we can have the value of desired impulse response, that is hd of n is equal to sine of omega c into n minus alpha upon pi times n minus alpha, and this equation is true only for n is not equal to alpha, and when n tends to alpha or it is equal to alpha, then the desired impulse response is hd of n is equal to omega c upon pi. This is because of a sinusoidal function which is having its maximum amplitude at n is equal to alpha, and this can be obtained by using L'Hospital's rule. So in the same way, for the high pass filter, we can have the desired impulse response hd of n as shown in slide. Similarly, we can find out for band pass and band stop filter also. So in case of band pass and band stop, there are two frequencies, there are two cutoff frequencies rather, omega c1 and omega c2. So let us discuss about the window method. So in this window method, we have to just shape our desired impulse response with some proper weighing function. So the procedure of designing FR filter using windowing method is, we have to choose the desired frequency response of the filter, that is well mentioned, that is for low pass, high pass, band pass and band reject filter. Then we have to just obtain its time domain values simply by taking its inverse Fourier transform. Then choose the window function and multiply with hd of n in order to convert our infinite duration impulse response into a finite duration one. The transfer function h of z is obtained by taking the z transform of the FIR impulse response, that is h of n. So there are different types of standard window functions are available. So let us consider the first one, that is rectangular, triangular, Hanning, Hamming, Blackman. So if you consider the first kind of window function, that is rectangular window, then it can be expressed in terms of non-causal form as well as the causal form. So both are given over here. So WR of n is equal to 1. So its value is constant and it is equal to 1 from minus n minus 1 divided by 2 to plus n minus 1 divided by 2. So this is just over the small n will range from minus plus minus n minus 1 divided by 2, where capital N is the order of filter. For the causal case, one can write WR of n is equal to 1 from 0 to capital N minus 1, and it is 0 otherwise. So this is the case of rectangular window function. So it can be expressed if you consider the rectangular window with order capital N is equal to 31, then one can have its representation, that is from minus 15 to plus 15 including 0. There are total 31 samples and all are having its value is equal to 1. And if you consider its Fourier transform WR of omega, it is just a kind of sinc function which is oscillating towards infinity with decaying amplitudes. So here it is shown with a figure, that is figure B. So this center part about 0 is the main lobe, and all other oscillations are called as side lobes. So for n point, non-causal weighing function is considered for the triangular form, or you can call it as a triangular window. So here these are the formulas for causal and non-causal one. So it is a triangular window. So square window, then triangular window, or square window is also called as a rectangular one. So it is just kind of pulse. So rectangular window, triangular window, next is Hanning window. So this Henning window is also a kind of viewing function that we can multiply with the desired impulse response, and it is given in both the form, that is in causal case as well as the non-causal case. While designing the filter that is causal form, we have to go with the second equation. Then Hamming window, impulse response including the centered value, that is hd of 2. So hd of 0, hd of 1, hd of 2, hd of 3, hd of 4. So it is the fifth order filter, you can say. So as order is well mentioned here, we know that alpha is equal to n minus 1 divided by 2 and it is equal to 2, and capital N is the order of filter or the length of the filter. So here we can tabulate the required values, that is time axis will range from 0 to 4. Desired impulse response hd of n is the second column, and here I am going to consider the window function, that is of rectangular window. So it has its value w of n is equal to 1 for all the small values of n, which will range from 0 to capital N minus 1. So we know that there are 5 possible values of small n, that is from 0 to 4. So over this range of small n, w of n is always 1, so it is mentioned in third column. And if I multiply the desired impulse response with window function, that is shaping function, I can have the expected, or we can have the actual impulse response, that is h of n is equal to desired impulse response multiplied by window function, that is w of n. So this column 4 is nothing but my second column, as the window function is always 1. So if I multiply them in time domain, I can have h of n. And once we know the h of n of causal FIR filter, we can convert this impulse response into its with respect to omega. So this is expected while designing in the given filter specification. Now let us consider the second equation, or you may say, sorry, second question, that is design a high pass filter with cutoff frequency that is 1.2 radian per second, and the order of filter is equal to n, is equal to 9. So here the cutoff frequency is mentioned, and the type of filter is also mentioned, and the order of filter is also well given. So the desired frequency response of the given type of filter one can express, that is hd of omega is equal to 0 from minus omega c to plus omega c. So in the stop band, that is near the low frequency region, the magnitude is 0, and from cutoff frequency to the highest value of frequency, that is you may say for higher frequencies, the magnitude is e raised to minus j alpha omega. So this is a kind of, you may say, a typical high pass filter. So for this we can find out the value of alpha from the order of filter, and the cutoff frequency is minus 1.2 radians per second. So by taking the inverse discrete time Fourier transform, we have hd of n is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus pi to plus pi hd of omega into e raised to j omega n d omega. So by solving, we have hd of n is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus pi to plus pi e raised to j n minus alpha into omega d omega is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus pi to minus cutoff frequency e raised to j n minus alpha omega d omega plus 1 upon 2 pi on the right hand side, that is integration from omega c to plus pi e raised to j n minus alpha omega d omega. So by solving this integral with lower and you may say the upper limits, we have finally the one high pass filter, which is obtained by using the windowing method. Now next is comparison between FIR and IR filter. So most of the times this question arises, what is the basic difference between FIR and IR filters? So we have finished IR filters in unit number 5, and we have gone through the FIR filters in unit number 6. So we must be able to compare these two types of filters. So in AR filters, as the name itself suggests, it consists of all the infinite samples which are present in the impulse response. And for FIR filters, only the finite values or finite number of samples of the impulse response are considered. The second difference is that the impulse response cannot be directly converted to the digital filter transfer function. So here we have to convert the given digital specification into analog one, and we have to design that analog prototype with low pass filter by using Butterworth and Chebyshev, and then we can convert that analog filter into equivalent digital one. But this is not the case with FIR filters. The FIR filters directly design in terms of digital form, that is in terms of transfer function h of z and its Fourier transform, that is h of omega. AR filters are not having a linear phase characteristics. On the right hand side, you may say the FIR filters are always with a linear phase. IR filters are easily designed with the recursive types of structures, and FIR filters are realized both the way, that is recursively as well as non-recursively. The specifications includes the desired characteristics of magnitude response only for IR case, and for FIR the specifications includes the desired characteristics of both magnitude as well as sometimes at all times phase response, that is magnitude and phase. So the magnitude and phase, that is nothing but the cutoff frequency, you may say the cutoff frequency information, and the phase information, that is e raised to minus j alpha omega, so that alpha is contributing for phase. The design involves design of analog filter and then transfer of analog filter to the digital one for IR case. That is the sixth difference. But this is not the case with FIR filters. The digital filters are directly designed in a digital domain depending upon the given specifications. And the last difference is the IR filters are having more noise as compared to the FIR filters, and in case of FIR filters, that error is due to the round of noise are less in severe FIR filters, mainly because of feedback is not present. So IR filters are you may say with more noise, and FIR filters are having less noise. So is there any questions, suggestions and critics? I welcome those. So thank you for listening about the design of FIR filters using window method. And this is Mr. Santosh Lukare from KBTCOE signing off. Thank you.